Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time we returned to the town of Madra, we got a few rewards for our good deeds, and we ran into some new faces and some old faces. Today we're going to finally set sail with Pierce's ship. So, before we get right to it, there's actually one item right here in the East Indra Shore that I want to get. And if I don't get it now, well, as soon as we actually gain control of the ship, the East Indra Shore, as a place that we can visit, will, well, disappear. But right here, we have a cookie. Alright, now we're done with that. Let's get inside the ship. And the effects of Avoid wore off, and that's actually a good reminder to rearrange a Pugin. There we go. At last, I am back on my ship. Finally, I can return to my beloved Lemuria. Wait there a moment. To set sail, we must go down to the power chamber, below decks. Let's head down. Alright, we finally get to see what the inside of a Lemurian ship looks like. We sadly did not get to see what the inside of Isaac's ship looked at the end of the last game. But also, it seems that a few enemies have snuck aboard. Here we have an Aqua Jelly. It is level 22, it has 225 HP, 5 synergy, 161 attack, 33 defense, 78 agility and 7 luck. It has a Venus elemental resistance of 48, a Mars resistance of 7, a Jupiter resistance of 48 and a Mercury resistance of 127. And it has a Venus and Jupiter power of 95 and a Mercury power of 125. It normally yields 96 experience points, which then become 124 if we finish him off with a Mars Gene. He drops 99 coins, which then become 128, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that he will drop a Sleep Bomb. As for his commands, he has the basic attack, the Poisonous Bite monster skill, the Electric Bite monster skill, and the Douse synergy. So luckily for us, the Aqua Jelly is weak enough that we can actually take him out without needing to resort to any synergy, so we can just use the basic attacks. And you never ever encounter more than one at the same time. Also, they always leave behind a small puddle, and that's going to become part of the main puzzles throughout the Lemurian ship. Alright, we got the effect of the hurricane, and there it goes down. So, before I do anything else, I'm going to heal up everybody, because since we will not be spending any synergy, and we always get to attack first, this will be a good opportunity to recover our synergy points. Well, except for Pierce, who will be wasting a lot of his. And there we got a potion. And let's head deeper into the ship. And we have a room full of Aqua Jellies that we can't do anything about for now. Alright. So, there's about 2 or 3 puzzle rooms with Aqua Jellies. This is pretty much the first one and the second easiest. It's not the easiest, there's one that's even shorter. We don't have to take out all the Aqua Jellies, just the ones that be required in order to create a passage. And Pierce level up. Alright, then we just have to move the giant crate right here. And I don't want to fight that Aqua Jelly, so I'll just use move. And there we go. So yeah, the Lemurian ship, I guess it counts as a dungeon. It's kind of a mini dungeon. It's not that long. It's just a bit obnoxious. I could push that crate over to create a shortcut, but that is completely unnecessary. There's not really much backtracking, other than in this particular room, I would say. Because we have to create a few different paths before we can fully complete the room. we'll just hop across. And there we go. So yeah, the Lemurian ship itself, it's kind of a weird dungeon in the sense that technically if you look up the number of enemies, the number of different enemies that you can encounter in this one, it actually has 3 enemies listed. But I'm willing to wager that most people who play through the game, even if they have done it several times, will have most likely only run into 2. I can count myself among those people because it happened to me many times. I only just recently learned that there's actually a 3rd enemy that can be encountered in the Lemurian ship. And I'll show you that as soon as I'm done with this room. Alright. I'm trying to get through the aqua jetties as quickly as possible. Alright, we are done on this side. And now we just have to take care of that last aqua jetty. And we got a sleep mode. Alright, so far from what we've seen, you think that there are no random encounters in the Lemurian ship because we've been mostly fighting the aqua jetties, and they are scripted encounters. Well, that's actually not the case. There are random encounters, but they can only occur in the small in-between room corridors, such as this one. So if we run around long enough, we should encounter... There we go. Here we have the second enemy of the Lemurian ship, the conch shell. It is level 20, it has 102 HP, no synergy, 158 attack, 43 defense, 72 agility and 8 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 72, a Mars resistance of 48, a Jupiter resistance of 72 and a Mercury resistance of 100. It normally yields 80 experience points, which then become 104 if we finish it off with a Mars gene. It drops 81 coins, which then become 105, and there is a 1 in 16 chances that then become a 1 in 4 that it will drop an elixir. As for his commands, he has the basic attack and the Mucus Gel monster skill, which may inflict the delusion status. And they're so weak that they're usually accompanied. You usually encounter them in groups of, I would say at the very least 3, though maybe you can run into them alone. And they are quite weak. But yeah, the conch shell, you can completely avoid it. In fact, I've done entire playthroughs of this game where I skipped out on it. I never ran into it, and I didn't know that it existed until recently. Anyways, right here we have to take out the aqua jelly, otherwise we will not be able to walk over the blue platform up there. Alright. Okay, so we're almost done with the Lemurian ship. But we're still missing out on that third enemy. And you may have guessed that yes, it is indeed a boss. So, first off I want to do a bit of setup. I'm going to trade aubergine between Pierce and Sheva. I want both of them to be in the Hermit class, so they'll have access to the Wish synergy. And I want to do a little bit of trading between Felix and Jenna, because they're the ones who are going to be doing most of the fighting. That should be... yeah, wait. Yeah, that should be fine. I want each of them to have an offensive margin. Yeah, I think everything is looking good. So before you interact with this Aqua Jelly, I would advise you to save. But anyways, here we go. Here we have the Aqua Hydra. It is level 26, it has 2776 HP, 70 synergy, 173 attack, 38 defense, 63 agility and 44 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mercury resistance of 175 and a Mars resistance of 25. And a Mercury elemental power of 115. It normally yields 963 experience points, which then become 1251 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 1612 coins, which then become 2095, and it always drops a vial. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Rising Venom monster skill, the Triple Chomp monster skill, the Slaver monster skill, the Raging Flood monster skill, and the Drench synergy. Alright, so I really do want to get the EXP and coin boost on this enemy, and I think this will also be a good opportunity to showcase the Planet Diver synergy. So I'm going to be basically doing that for a while with both Felix and Jenna, and in the meantime I'm going to have Sheva and Pierce boost them up. Alright, how much damage? 163, that's fine. 184, so about 340 pretty much. Alright. One more round of boosting and then we can just start using Wish and we should be fine. Maybe around 400. That is by far the most dangerous one. Luckily Felix survived, so we're fine. So about 400 and about 700. So 4 more rounds of this and then we're going to start using Jin. So let's quickly use Wish. Hopefully that will be enough to fully heal Felix. Well, not fully, but he'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be fine. Another 400. Oh, he's really focused on Felix. Oh, that's fine. That is by far his most dangerous move, but we can take it. Yeah, we're fine. Having 2 Wish users can be a bit overkill, as you can see here. Then again, he is not holding back. One more should be fine. Man, I really wish they introduced some synergy that worked like the Libra magic from the Final Fantasy games. Being able to know exactly how much HP the enemy has left will be very useful, considering how the Jin mechanic works. Come on, please don't die from this. You should not be dead. Alright, we're fine. So let's use Cannon, and then Char. And everybody's fine. I'm going to skip out on using Wish because I am running out of synergy. 208, 221, and perfect. 1251 and 2095, and a vial. Amazing. And unfortunately, now that we took out the Hydra, it left a massive amount of water and the chest is now submerged. We can't do anything to get it right now, but we will be able to get it later. But yeah, now we are pretty much done with the Lemurian ship. Just a very simple douse puzzle right here. Alright, before I forget, I want to put everything back where it was. And right here. Alright. And here we are. How did all these monsters get on board? I could swear I locked the door when I left. It doesn't matter. Once we get this ship moving, I'm sure they'll all jump ship. Okay, now, I must set the black orb in this pedestal. And off we go. Take the tiller, Felix. If you hope to reach Lemuria, you'll have to learn a few things about handling a ship. I think we ought to sail the Eastern Sea, until you get the hang of it. Kraden, shouldn't we be heading straight for Lemuria? Well, I suppose if we have to learn to sail, it's better to do it sooner than later. Then I want to go to La Libero, and Tolby. Oh, and Bale. Can we go to Bale? I'd love to see your hometown, Jenna. Shall we? Let's do it. To Bale we go. There's more than a couple of reasons why that would be a bad idea, actually. I'm with Felix. I don't think that would be a wise course of action. Come now, why not? Think about the roads we have traveled to get where we are. I can't. I was never any good at geography. Then allow me to explain. The coastline of Angara, the continent in which Bale lies, is surrounded by rocky cliffs. Oh, you don't think Pierce's boat could land there? And as for Gondowan, I would guess the people from La Libero are looking for us. He's right. Saturos and Menardi went a little wild in La Libero, and you were all with them. Oh, but Shepard can explain the situation for us. Farhan and the La Liberans would understand, I'm sure. And then they make me stay in La Libero. Would you just leave me there, Felix? Oh, yeah. Maybe that wouldn't be such a good idea after all. Then it's decided. What's decided? The sea is vast. We can go wherever we please. So let's explore a bit, Felix. That's a great idea. We already met werewolves and discovered new synergy. I'm sure there's even more out there waiting for us to find it. Wow, this is going to be great! The seas can be quite dangerous. It will not be my fault if something happens, Kraden. To the open sea, Felix! Alright, we are finally in control of the Lemurian ship. And before we go any further, I have been purposefully avoiding showing the world map, because I was thinking that this would be the better opportunity to actually show it. But before that, I want to do a quick comparison. Right now on screen you should be seeing the map for the original Golden Sun. As you can see, basically encompasses mostly Angara, the continent in which most of the original game takes place, and a little bit of Gondowan near the end. So, this is what the map looks like in the Lost Age. Pretty big, huh? And yeah, we have Angara right here, and then Gondowan, and well, everywhere else we've been so far. Indra, Nosenia. Also, now that we have access to the ship, if you've been playing the game up to this point and you decided to skip out on getting the reveal synergy at Earth's Rock, I suggest that you go back to Earth's Rock and get it, because so far reveal has been fairly optional. Thanks to it we got a Jupiter Gene in Garo, we got the Moloch Summon in Madra, and I believe one item in Nariwa. But from this point onward, it will be absolutely mandatory. In fact, out of all the dungeons that are now available throughout the Great Eastern Sea, there is only one that does not require the reveal synergy. So yeah, if you don't have reveal, go and get it. Alright, so we have all the Great Eastern Sea for us to explore, but before we head any further, I actually want to head back to Kibombo, because now we can do a little bit more of exploration there. So let's take the sea route, shall we? And one more thing. Right here. Whenever you see these bright blue spots, those are actually shadow spots, and if you press the A button, you get a few different lines of dialogue. Felix gazed into the pond. There are some coins in the shallows. Felix got 22 coins. Wow, that was really lucky. I also wanted to say that aside from a few different lines, yeah, the shadow of a large fish just passed by, you may occasionally get items, so it's always a good idea whenever you see the shallow spots to explore a bit. But before we get into more of that, here we have a new enemy, our first sea enemy, the Merman. It is level 21, it has 162 HP, no synergy, 184 attack, 46 defense, 93 agility and 10 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 72 and a Mercury resistance of 127, and it has a Mercury power of 100. It normally yields 134 experience points, which then become 174 if we finish him off with a margin. He drops 139 coins, which then become 180, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that he will drop a crystal powder. As for his commands, he has the basic attack and the Hydro Slash monster skill, which is a Mercury based attack with a 1.4 multiplier. And we also got a nice new battle theme, which I think is good for breaking up the usual theme. It can get a bit exhausting. And there we go. So right here, I believe we're almost near the small chunk of land that tore from the Suhala range, way back at the beginning of the game. And that ship that we found, which we later realized was not Pierce's ship, was actually Menardis, and we never get to see it again, so it was most likely destroyed thanks to the tidal wave. But on to another topic, we have another new enemy. Well, technically it's a returning enemy from the first game. But here we have a Fighter Bee. It is level 21, it has 116 HP, no synergy, 155 attack, 38 defense, 74 agility and 2 luck. It has a Venus elemental resistance of 100, a Mars and Mercury resistance of 48 and a Jupiter resistance of 7, and it has a Jupiter elemental power of 105. It normally yields 67 experience points, which then become 87 if we finish him off with a Jupiter gem. It drops 90 coins, which then become 117, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop an elixir. As for his commands, he has the basic attack, the Numbing Sting monster skill and the Ally Search monster skill. So yeah, fairly easy opponent. Alright. So yeah, Menardis' ship is most likely destroyed, it is never seen again, so best to forget about it. But now we are near Kibombo, and also, I forgot to tell you, one good way to know where you can land with the... One good rule to know when you can land with the ship is either whenever you're near a sandy shore, such as in this case, or if you find any rivers that lead into the ocean, you can actually go into the river, and then once you're inside the river you can jump to either side of the land, or you can jump over this way, and in fact there we have Kibombo. Alright, so before we do anything else, I actually want to heal up because we're a bit running low on synergy and HP. Alright, and before we do anything else, I actually want to clear up my inventory a bit because it is getting a little bit cluttered. So let's see what we can sell. First off, the Laughing Fungus, we have no further use for it. Then right here we have the Nurse's Cap. The Leather Amulet, I don't need that. That's fine. I have a few things to sell here with Pierce. And the Chainmail. Alright. Also, last time, our reward from the Mayor of Madra was the Cyclone chip, which I completely forgot to go over, even though I specifically said that I would. But as you can see here it says, bestow Cyclone with a quid. So this is yet another of those synergy bestowing items. And since Cyclone really seems like a Jupiter synergy, I'm going to give it to Sheba. So, Cyclone. The description reads, conjure wind to scatter weeds. So far we haven't seen any of these weeds, but we're about to. And as you may have noticed, we're heading back into the Great Kabomba. More specifically, we're heading to where the Great Kabomba spirit told us that we could get the magic that Akafubu happened to miss because he ran from the ceremony. Alright, here we are, the Kabomba Catacombs. And right here, we have those weaves. Those weeds that we can use. So yeah, the Cyclone Synergy will clear out those weeds. And also, if you notice here, we have what looks like a strange funnel that goes into the ground. We can also use the Cyclone Synergy for that, but I actually want to use it, if I'm not interrupted. And general level up, that's nice. I actually want to use it right here. Because we have a Venus Gene. And he is hostile, so be prepared. Here we have Mud. He is level 20, he has 500 HP, 44 synergy, 153 attack, 41 defense, 122 agility and 15 luck. He has... Okay, so every single gene of their respective element always has the same resistances and power, so I'm not going to read them every single time. Now, he normally yields 360 experience points, which then become 468 if we finish him off with a Jupiter gene. He drops 358 coins, which then become 465, and of course he does not drop any items. As for his commands, he has pretty much the very same commands that the gene Steel, which we fought atop of in the Grey Kabomba statue itself, so he has the very same commands, he's only a little bit stronger. So, let's see if we can actually get the EXP boost on. I'm going to see if I can actually get him to fall asleep. If that works, then I might be able to get the boost. Alright, 106 damage. 160, 260 pretty much. Alright, should be enough, hopefully. I'm actually a bit concerned that it might not be. I might want to get that one back. This is a bit risky. Okay, he did not wake up. Okay, it should be too late. Hopefully Waft can take him out. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. Why do I try? Why do I keep trying? Sorry about that. Alright, let's see if we can do this properly now. I am going to open with the Waft Gene again because it deals a decent amount of damage, and if it does fall asleep then it's a guaranteed win. Alright, let's do this again, and I don't have Waft. Fantastic. Alright, at least he's stunned now. Oh, let's do Atalanta, why not? Let's see how much damage that is. 138. And he's not dead. No, he is. Alright, we found the Venus Gene, Mud. So let's quickly go over Mud. His battle effect is that he lowers a target's agility by 50%. He provides a set stat bonus of plus 10 to your base HP, plus 4 to your base synergy, and plus 3 to your base agility. Also, now that we got our 4th Venus Gene, we can finally gain access to the final of the basic Venus summons. Let's quickly go over that one, shall we? Judgment, the Might of the Apocalypse. He requires 4 Venus Gene. He has a base power of 240, he has an HP multiplier of 12%, and after it is summoned, it provides a boost to your earth power of 80 to 90 points. Alright, also, Now that Felix can carry 4 Venus genes, he can gain access to a new rank within the Squire, the Gallant. For this rank, he receives a 20% boost to HP and then a 10% boost to every single stat, aside from luck. And he has unlocked the Gaia and Revive synergies. And pretty much the only synergy that is locked behind rank would be the upgraded version of Ragnarok. So yeah, other than that, he has access to every other synergy. Then on to other characters. If Sheba were to hold 4 Venus genes, she would have access to the Shaman rank in the Jupiter Seer class. When it comes to stats, she obtains a 10% boost in every stat aside from luck, and she has gained access to the Ward and Revive synergies, and pretty much every other synergy in the class itself, because they're no longer locked behind rank. Alright, on to Pierce. If Pierce were to hold 4 Venus gene, he will also access the Shaman in the Mercury Seer class. The stat boost is pretty much the same, a 10% boost to every stat aside from luck, and he has gained access to the Wish synergy. Alright, on to something else. Now that pretty much every single character has at the very least 4 gene, that means that one of them will have to carry 5. And if I give this one to Pierce, and if I trade all 5 of them with Sheba's, that is to say, if Sheba were to hold 5 Mercury gene, she would reach a new rank in the Hermit class, the Savant. For this class, she receives a 20% boost in HP and then a 10% boost in every stat, aside from luck. And that's pretty much it. Every other synergy that could be unlocked has already been unlocked by rank. So, that's it pretty much. Alright. So, we still have the whole dungeon to go through. Luckily, it's not that long, but I do want to get it done as quickly as possible. And also, pretty much every single enemy here can also be encountered inside the Greca Bomba statue. So yeah. Aside from the gene, there's only one other enemy that is unique to this place, but it's not a random encounter. So I'll get to that as soon as we can. Right, let's see. Alright, there we go. So I want to use Cyclone right here, because we have yet another hidden funnel. Alright. I believe it's through, yeah. Okay, right here. If you use Cyclone, we have a hidden items. So yeah, we can also find hidden items. We got a mint, which is a stat boosting item that I believe boosts your agility. And we get to go first. Alright, so the red demon survived, which is to be expected. And shall level up. So right here, below the weeds, we have a small puddle. Alright. Alright. Okay, right here. I'll get to it as soon as I'm done with the battle here. Okay, so from what we've seen so far, you think that the Gabomba Catacombs would mostly require us to use the Cyclone synergy and the Frost synergy. Well, guess what? We have to use Reveal only here, which actually becomes kind of a running thing in a few of the other dungeons throughout the Great Eastern Sea. For most of them, you will not be using the Reveal synergy, but then you'll reach a specific section or the end of a chunk of a dungeon, and you'll find out that you actually need the Reveal synergy. And trust me when I say it, as someone who has played this game a couple of times and one time forgot, It can be quite frustrating to reach the end of a long stretch of a dungeon to find out that you need a synergy that you don't have because you forgot to get it. So yeah. Okay. Right here. There we go. So, this section right here actually with the flowing water and the pillars that kind of obstruct your vision is kind of similar to the one of the sections in the Kandorian Temple, one of the first dungeons in the game. So, it feels like a small callback. Either that or just, you know, reusing assets. Alright, we are almost done with the Gabomba Catacombs. We're almost finished. But, right here, there's something hidden beneath the bushes, the weeds. Here we have a mud plant. This is quite a unique enemy. Similar to the mimics, it is not an enemy that can be found as a random encounter. There's a specific number of them. And the first one right here is level 23. It has 449 HP, no synergy, 181 attack, 41 defense, 87 agility, and 19 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 48, a Mars resistance of 7, a Jupiter resistance of 72, and a Mercury resistance of 100, and a Venus elemental power of 105. It normally yields 321 experience points, which then become 417 if we finish it off with a Mars gen. He drops 347 coins, which then become 451, and he has a guaranteed drop of a game ticket. As for his commands, he has the basic attack and the Poisonous Bite monster skill, which is a Venus-based attack that, yeah, it may inflict poison. Alright, so I'm going to see if I can get the boost on this one. Since it will not run away, it should be fairly easy. 109... 190, let's say. I was really scared for a moment. I thought that I had actually killed him. Alright, let's use Char and let's use Impact on Jenna. That should take him out. Yeah. And there we go. And error game ticket. Alright, that's pretty much it. We're done. By reaching this place, you have proven your power. By rights, Akafubu should bear this power. But I shall keep my promise and bestow it upon the one to reach this place first. I am grateful for your promise, but I am worried that we have done Akafubu and the Kibombo a great wrong. Akafubu has not honed his own powers, and the fault lies with him alone. And yet, there is a hint of truth to what you say. Then, what are we to do? Does this mean we will not receive your magic? As I have said, I will give the power to you. Your concern is misplaced. But I must add some small conditions to our agreement. What kind of conditions? You must not mention this to Akafubu. Akafubu was plainly ill-prepared for this test. He will lose heart if he hears what you have done. And yet, the Kibombo have need of this ill-prepared leader. If Akafubu ever reaches this place, I shall teach him the magic as well. Promise me that you will not tell Akafubu that you earned this magic. Can you do this? Of course! And now I shall sleep. Farewell, successor to the Witch Doctor. Alright, here we have the Tomegathericon, or Tomegatericon. I don't know how it's pronounced. Let's take a look, shall we? Book, equipped to change your class. So yeah, right here we have the last of the class changing items. In this case, the class that we will have access to is the Dark Mage, and since we have the proper amount of Jin, we can actually reach the second rank, Crypt Lord. We have standard HP, quite high synergy, standard attack, slightly above standard defense, quite high agility, and below standard luck. As for his commands, he has a few interesting commands. First off, we have the Cold Zombie, which is a Mercury based attack with a power rating of 40. Then we have the Raging Hit synergy, which is a Mars based attack with a power rating of 45. Then the Hunt and Revive synergies we've seen before. And then we have the Fear Puppet, which is actually misspelled in the game as Fire Puppet. But the effect itself has nothing to do with fire or Mars. It actually may inflict the stun status. And yeah, there are a few other synergies in this class that are out of our reach right now because of their rank. But here we go, we finally have access to all the item dependent classes. And with that we are officially done with the Gabomba Catacombs. And I will also say, with Kibombo itself, there's really nothing else for us to do here. So yeah, we are done. And before I end the video, I actually want to get back on our boat and head for the Great Eastern Sea yet again. Because I want to show one more thing before we're done. So, if you look at the map, you can clearly see one particular spot that clearly catches your eye. The big foggy spot at the very center of the ocean. And we were told many times by peers and in the first game by Babi that getting to Lemuria is quite an ordeal, meaning that there's very strong currents around the area and also it's supposedly covered by a very thick fog. But I'll continue with that point in a moment. Here we have a new enemy, well, a returning one. We have a Calamar. It is level 21. It has 104 HP, no synergy, 130 attack, 34 defense, 46 agility, and 1 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 48, a Mars resistance of 7, and a Mercury resistance of 127, and a Jupiter elemental power of 95. He normally uses 59 experience points, which then become 76 if we finish him off with a Mars Gin. He drops 79 coins, which then become 102, and there is a 1 in 16 chances that then become a 1 in 4 that he will drop an elixir. As for his commands, he has a basic attack, the Electric Bite, and the Ally Surge monster skill. And in this case, he is accompanied by a Merman. But they are no big threat. So yeah, what I was saying. For what we know of Lemuria, one would think that that big foggy patch in the middle is where Lemuria would be located. And since our main objective is to, well, reach Lemuria, now that we have access to Pierce's ship, I want to quickly see if we can actually get there. So we're going to be heading for that big foggy spot in the middle of the ocean. Alright. And we may run into a few new enemies along the way. So that will be a good opportunity to go over there. Speaking of which, here we have an Urchin Beast. It is level 21, it has 89 HP, no synergy, 163 attack, 54 defense, 101 agility, and 6 luck. It has a Venus and Mercury resistance of 72, a Mars resistance of 48, and a Jupiter resistance of 100, and a Mercury elemental power of 85. He normally uses 93 experience points, which then become 120 if we finish him off with a Mars Gin. He drops 79 coins, which then become 102, and there is a 1 in 16 chances that then become a 1 in 4 that he will drop an Antidote. As for his commands, he has a basic attack and the Beast Needle monster skill, which is a Mercury based attack with an additional 15 points of damage. And he's completely on his own, so yeah, pretty much. Alright. We are getting there. Alright. We should be seeing the effects. Yeah, there we go. We're already seeing the effects of the thick fog. And here we have an entrance. And before that we have another, in this case a real new enemy. We have a Seabird. He is level 21. He has 133 HP, no synergy, 166 attack, 31 defense, 110 agility, and 9 luck. He has a Venus resistance of 127, a Mars resistance of 48, a Jupiter resistance of 7, and a Mercury resistance of 72, and a Jupiter elemental power of 110. He normally yields 106 experience points, which then become 137 if we finish him off with a Jupiter Gin. He drops 114 coins, which then become 148, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that he will drop a Sacred Feather. As for his commands, he has a basic attack and the Wing Beat monster skill, which is a Jupiter based attack with a power rating of 35. Alright, let's make quick work of these ones and we'll finally head into the center of the foggy spot in the Great Eastern Sea. Alright, here we are at the Sea of Time, and yeah, we can already see the effect of the massive currents. So let's see what happens if we try to get past them, maybe by going as far here as we can, and it's completely impossible. Hold on to that tiller! Do you want us to get swallowed by the waves? I know you're worried, Sheva, but he's doing the best he can. That was an incredibly strong whirlpool, but I doubt it could sink us or destroy the ship. See, Sheva? There's nothing to worry about. Even if we hit a whirlpool, we should be fine. But still, Pierce, can't you show Felix how to get past the whirlpools and into Lemuria? Yes. Well... What's wrong, Pierce? Lemuria's just beyond these whirlpools, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. You think so? Aren't you from Lemuria? Should you know exactly where it is? Yes, I'm from Lemuria. I've never had to get back into it before. And besides, the tidal wave carried me out of Lemuria. I didn't actually come through here. Oh, I see. So that must mean you don't actually know which direction Lemuria is in, do you? Don't be silly. I mean, I just need to get my bearings. That doesn't sound good. If Lemuria really is beyond those currents, then we'll need to find a way to get through them. And until we do, we will not be getting into Lemuria. Alright, so it would seem that the entry into the Sea of Time is right now not available for us. Okay, so we finally gained control of the ship, we began our exploration of the Great Eastern Sea, and we finished our business at Kibom. I think that's more than enough for now. Next time we're going to see if we can learn a few hints about what to do regarding the strong currents in the Sea of Time. See you guys